20-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown!
And we're very thankful, and we got to thank God every minute of every day. It's your boy, One Life Stu, Ron Stewart, joined by the second runner-up to the Heisman, joined by Mr. South Carolina, Mr. Georgia Hall of Famer himself, Joe Hamilton's in the building. Good morning to you, Brother Ham.
Hey, how you doing, my friend? I'm gonna tell you right now. I can start off by saying I'm doing outstanding. You hear me? Outstanding. Yes. You ever grew up when you were growing up? Did your mom or your dad ever say "pray for long life"? Have you ever heard that statement? And that was basically about children, and we are acting up as children. We're doing things and causing them a little bit of headaches, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, you'll see. Pray for long life. Pray that you live long. And I bring that up, Stu, now because school is over. Yeah. School is over. My kids are out, and now I'm realizing, and my wife is realizing that they're going to be home more often. And I know you've heard this statement, boy, kids can eat you out of a house and home. Well, it was said to us. It was said to us, boy, you guys eating us out of a house and home. Well, I've prayed for long life, and long life is here. And it's coming back. It's coming back, man. These kids, man, can be eating breakfast and wondering what's for lunch. They could be eating for lunch and wondering what's for dinner. They could just have sat down to eat lunch and wonder where's our snacks. Right. And no snacks are enough. I mean, they constantly eat it. So bless them. And then the grandparents now say, Stu, those kids are growing. You got growing children, so feed them. Oh, man, but shout out to my kids. Shout out to the summer. Shout out to the school system and the teachers and all that educate our kids. Just a big shout out to the school year because it's huge, man. I don't think we give enough recognition. I know you do because of your wife. Shout out to Mrs. Stewart and what she does for as far as educators. But I think they deserve a little bit more credit than we give them because they're molding, they're grooming, they're sacrificing their time, they're somewhat their fun to service, to serve. And I'm gonna take this time to give a big shout out to all the educators in the service, men and women.
They deserve a big kudos. They deserve much more praise, and they deserve more bread, okay?
Yes!
They deserve more bread.
Yes,
I mean, when it comes to two essential workers, I'm going to say three essential workers: firefighters, policemen, and educators. Mm-hmm. Where would we be without them? Mm-hmm. So for them to kind of be at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to pay is sad. Now, before we move on within the huddle with Joe Ham, that's your boy Joe Ham. I'm Ryan Stewart, One Live Stew, part of the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews experience. You can catch us every Monday and Thursday. That's Doug and I at 7 a.m. Or you can go to Stewart Media and Entertainment on YouTube and Facebook and pull up any show that we've done for the past year and a half or so. You can also catch In the Huddle with Joe Ham every Wednesday. Now, that's one thing we're going to talk about, the time. We'll get to that in a second before I finish about these educators. It's amazing to think about how important it is to have an education. And then it's amazing to think about how the people that bless you with said education kind of don't get taken care of, all right? Mm-hmm. Now, my wife's a principal, so she'll probably never argue, debate, or she'll never gripe or grumble about the money that she makes. But the time that she spends at the school, especially this time of year, okay? She had 3 days off because the kids got off on Wednesday last week. She had 3 days off. Friday, Monday, She went in half day on Tuesday, but she'll be there all summer.
Wow.
She'll be there every day. She's going already. She's going already. So she doesn't get the summer break like everybody else. Okay? So she's there now every day, and she'll get a week or a week and a half break this summer in totality. But she's there now planning for next year. I mean, no kids in the building, but the principals are there.
Yeah.
For the upcoming school year, which is in a couple of months. All right. We say that now.
You know what? Real quick, Stu.
Please, we got time. We got time.
Because you said that to me, and I was uneducated about the roles of principals, and right. I gave you some other, title that they have to be there all summer as well. That needs to be not broadcast. Well, yes, it needs to be broadcast. Can we write a story about that? Because a lot of people think that, they have the whole summer off and they work and they're off just like the kids. But that's humongous when you're talking about year-round educator. And right. when you know somebody with the passion, like your wife, and some passion, like where my kids go to school.
Oh, she loves it.
And countless others, they put their livelihood in it. It's just not a job. It's a hobby. It's what they want to do. It's their calling. So this is a shout out to them. And anytime I get a chance to do it, I must give a shout out because that's something that's definitely essential, and it'll shape the world up.
She loves her family. She loves her husband. She loves her kids. She loves her students. Okay. I mean, she's there for them. She works around the clock. We have very irregular sleeping patterns around here. I've always been somewhat nocturnal. But when I get up at night or get up in the morning to go to the kitchen or to use the restroom or to take the dog out, because I do that sometimes at weird times of the day, she's often sitting up in the bed with her laptop open working. And no, she's not. She never complains, never fusses about it. It's just what she does. But they put a lot of time in, man. Speaking of time, in the Huddle with Joe Ham, it is 9:00 and we are live. All right.
Hey!
Last week we went at 12. In the past we've gone at 9 p.m. Today, Joe, because of the playoff basketball schedule, we've been kind of trying to find time to do it before 9:00. And the producer of our show, Tree Taylor, when I was talking to her about the show at 4:30 this morning, your show, she said, you guys just do it when time allows. I said, but Tree, we have to have a set schedule, don't we? How will the listeners know when we're on? She's like, well, they'll get notified when you start the show. They'll come on. But if they don't catch it live, they can catch it whenever they can catch it. But if y'all are trying to wait to do it live, you might not be afforded that opportunity because it's summertime now.
Right.
Shortly after that conversation, my daughter wakes up and she goes, Dad, real quick, did I oversleep? And I said, no, baby, why? What's wrong? Are we still going to the movies? And I said, yeah, baby, we're still going to the movies. What time did I say we were going? She said, you said we were catching an 11:00 show. So right then and there, I said, well, we're not going to be able to do the show at noon, so we're just going to do it earlier. So this public service announcement is for all the listeners. During the summertime, because Joe has kids and I have kids, and we're both somewhat stay-at-home fathers taking care of the kids while wives do certain things, bear with us when it comes to the time that we'll do the show.
Well said. Well said.
We're going to ask for. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. And you could have just told me that out loud. Give me 1 second to fix that. Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah, there we go. That should be a whole lot better right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Let me hear you. Oh, that's a whole lot better. That's a whole lot better. So yeah, y'all show us some grace and some mercy with when we do this show. It might pop up at 3:00 in the morning.
Come on, man. Come on with it.
Whenever time allows, y'all hop on Stewart Media and Entertainment on YouTube, and y'all catch the show. In the Huddle with Joe Ham, it's going to go down on Wednesday, sometime on Wednesday, unless we tell you otherwise. So This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Very happy to be joined with you, man. The second public service announcement I wanted to take before I get into your show today with you. I want to make sure that this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham and not In the Misery with Ryan Stewart, because I'm hurting, Joe. I'm hurting right now.
Oh boy.
My Knicks fell last night. I think we'll end up starting with talking with the Knicks, and then we'll get to OKC, or we'll do it however you want. But I'm hurting, and I'm hurting real bad because the series is now 3-1. One more game, and my Knicks are going home, going fishing, as Chuck Charles Barkley and Shaq those say on TNT with Ernie and those guys and Kenny. But I keep thinking about the first game. You know, we talked about it last week. There's been about 7 to 8 games in the last 2 or 3 weeks where there's been a 20-point lead that has been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a 20-point lead that has been let go, and a team that's been down by 20 points or more has found a way to come back and win ball games. That can't happen at this level. That can't happen when you're a team that hadn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. That can't happen when you're home, and it's happened to my team. So now I'm really hurting because I keep thinking about game 1, even though we're about to play game 6. I keep thinking about game 1. Or we're about to play game 5. I keep thinking about game 1 because we had control with 4 or 5 minutes left, and we let it go. Joe, speak to the term that is often used in sports. It's never over until it's over. It's never over until the final whistle. Speak to that, man, and we'll dive into these sports.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to it because sometimes, Stu, you need an example, all right? And has it been done before? Absolutely. It's been done by the Cavaliers beating the 73-win Warriors team, coming back from down 3-1. So when you have proof in the pudding like that, then what are you going to do? You're going to say that, why not us? Can we also do the same thing? Now, that's going to be in the locker room. We would not expect fans to have a positive attitude right now. I wouldn't expect you to come talking about your Knicks like, oh, we still have them. We are in good shape. That would be blasphemy. That would be Ryan Stewart not talking sports or not using his sports background to give a solid assessment about how he feels. Now, I would love to give you some really, really good news as I can motivate. I can keep guys in the loop. I can keep guys going and believing. But I can't do that here, Stu, because there's no answers for the New York Knicks. I'm wondering, I thought about it last night. I slept on it, thought about it this morning. What could be the answer? What could be the difference? Yes, Jalen Brunson is balling. Karl Anthony Towns is balling. You've said it time and time again. We need one or maybe two of those others. OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges, somebody else stepping up and playing offensively, at least getting you 20 points. Well, that's happened. That's happened. Anunoby's been balling. He's been playing 16-16. I think last night he had 20 plus. I mean, he's been balling. And the reason why I say I have no answers and Thibs has no answers defensively. You can't slow down the Indiana Pacers. You just can't, because you don't know where it is coming from. And when you have a guy like Halliburton that can distribute, that's very, very unselfish. And when you have a go-to champion in Pascal Siakam that doesn't need any plays ran for him. Mm-hmm. He does not need any plays ran for him. When you have a player like that showing up, your two best players showing up, and then last night, who do you got? Ben Mathurin? Oh, Ben Mathurin getting 20
Who the hell is Ben Mathurin?
Ben Mathurin, I remember him from getting in a fight with DeAndre Hunter and getting kicked out of the series against Cleveland. And I don't think I've seen him since then. Right. So and then one game, it was Neesmith. Yeah. And it's just now that when you look at it, what adjustments would you like to see? Because they won all the stats. If you were not looking at that game and checking out the game just in the box score and seeing what happens, who were their leading scorers and all those, you would say the Knicks won the game. Right. Free throws, they won. Right. Rebounds, they won. Yeah. You know, I know they shot 46% from the field. They won, but you cannot have 17 turnovers.
Can't
And
give
it's
it
the
away.
timing of this
You
turnovers
can't give it
that's
away.
getting me. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, you look at the points off of turnovers. Turnovers can do two things. Turnovers can give points away to the other team, which they gave the Knicks 20 points. I mean, they gave the Pacers 20 points
20,
last night.
Yeah.
Or it can stop a run, momentum. Or you on a fast break, or you had a big time stop or a block, and then you go down, and when your boys are fired up and you turn the basketball over, heartbreaking. I just don't see the adjustments, Stu. And I don't know when it's going to be over. And I would like to say that, will the Indiana Pacers palms get a little sweaty and win? You go back to New York and you get a game, and all of a sudden it's a game 6. They have momentum according to how that game goes. Maybe still got the lightning in the bottle, or somebody getting a defensive stop here and there. Who knows how this series can change?
Yeah.
But right now, it does not look good for the New York Knicks.
You brought up several things that I want to address, and this is in the Huddle with Joe Ham. You mentioned the turnovers. We can't give the ball away as much as we did last night. You're not going to have success if you're not holding on to the ball.
Right.
You know who did not give the ball away?
Oh, yes, I do.
Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton had a historic stat line last night when it comes to playoff basketball in the NBA. He's the first guy with 30 points, 15 assists. If I'm not mistaken, he had 12 rebounds.
Yes.
He didn't have any turnovers. Okay. The reason why I'm starting with Halliburton and his no turnovers last night is because prior to this series, you and I talked about the 4 stars that were still remaining in this postseason. And you told me that out of all of them, Ant-Man, SGA, Big Body Brunson, and Tyrese Halliburton, you told me out of all of them that Halliburton is the one that you wouldn't put on that list. I want to know.
Let me correct you right fast.
Okay, please.
Specifically, I said that Halliburton was a star, and those other 3 were superstars.
Superstars. Okay,
yes.
Correct.
So 3 superstars, and I wasn't quite ready to give Halliburton that superstar status. And why was it? Because of the box office turnstiles, and I got a little out of place, out of whack, and he is trying to prove that to me now. And right after you make your point, I have a question. And my question is going to be directed right at you, and I do not have an answer, and I'm searching for an answer after you finish with your thought.
Okay. How do you feel now about a guy that, and they've been tracking turnovers since the 77-78 season. How do you feel about a guy that goes for a smooth 30, has a triple-double, and doesn't turn it over one time? How do you rank his game last night is my question. Please remember what you're going to ask me, but how do you rank him last night?
Top 5 for what I've seen. Top 5 all time. And by goodness, I've seen the 88, 87, Boston Celtics, Magic Johnson. I've seen John Stockton. I've seen them all. When you talk about point guard, Isaiah Thomas. And to handle the ball. We're not talking about a shooting guard coming off of screens and taking 1 or 2 dribbles. We're not talking about that, Ryan Stewart. We're talking about a guy in Halliburton that keeps his dribble alive. We're talking about a guy that gets a rebound and he goes coast to coast. We're talking about a guy that will go under the basket, go around the three-point line, keep his dribble for about 10 seconds, and then make a play. So it's not like he's avoiding handling the ball. And to be that involved and to have that many shot-making ability and create opportunities, easy opportunities for his teammates, I have not seen it. And it makes me go back to think of myself of, why didn't I give him the credit? Why didn't I give him the credit of crossing over, of being that face of the league, being that superstar that we want to see that is going to get butts in the seat? Because that's what we say when we cross over to superstardom sometimes. And this is what I had to do, Stu, because I'm on the brink. I'm not there yet. I'm on the brink of giving him superstar status. So I think about John Stockton. In your eyes, was he a superstar?
No question.
Absolutely. Not flashy.
He wasn't sexy by no means.
That's what
as a matter of fact, the way as as tight as he wore them damn shorts, he could
Yeah.
not be sexy out there. But yes, he was a superstar.
Absolutely. Now I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it just for argument's sake and to try to set my point here. What about Tim Duncan? Big fundamentals. Was he a superstar?
The name says it all.
The name says it all. So it doesn't look good. I got caught up into that, Stu. I got caught up in that. And to my defense, very seldom you see a superstar that does not make the All-Star team.
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton did not make the All-Star team this year. Now he's an All-Star in the past. He's an all NBA in the past. This past year, he did not make the All-Star team. I held that against him. Normally, superstars do not fall off that way. The fans are going to vote you in, or the players are going to vote you in, or when it comes down to it, the last bit, the coaches are going to vote you in. But you're going to get in if you're a superstar. You're going to get in off a rep, off a name recognition, so to speak. And the question I wanted to ask you, Stu, what is the criteria we are going by for a superstar? Well, I mean, because it can differ. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not asking you this to say no, you're wrong.
I've got an answer.
Right.
I've got an answer.
Because I'm almost willing to pull a renege on Ant-Man. I'm almost saying that, man, why did I jump off the boat so early and give Ant-Man superstar status? He's no MVP. Yes, he's an all-star. I think he's a third team all-NBA. He's high rising, jumps out of the gym, brash, talks trash, bravado. Is that what we're looking for? Did I crown him a little bit too early? I know I didn't with SGA. I know I didn't.
Right. Well, no, not with SGA. No. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer both of those questions. I'm going to answer what is a superstar first. Second thing, I've been saying for quite some time now when it comes to Ant-Man, Ja Morant, and there's another one. There's a third player. It'll come to me in a second. I've been saying that they are not superstars yet. They are in the mold of being a superstar. They've got superstar potential. But to me, okay, a superstar is someone that is going to be there for you on both sides of the court. A superstar is someone that when nothing is working for anybody else, they're going to find a way to get you 25 plus. A superstar is going to be able to control the turnovers and not give it away. Okay? A superstar is going to be dependable. Sir, Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan because every time he got into a game this time of year, if his team needed 30 from him, he got 30. If his team needed 45 from him, he got 45. If his team needed 60, we had confidence that he would go for 60. This time of year, well, not this time of year because it's Western Conference Finals right now. When it gets to the finals, when the East is playing the West, whenever Jordan got there, he was the MVP every single time. Why? Because that's where you put your testicles on the line.
Yeah.
That's when everybody in the arena, every coach, every player, that's when everybody is counting on you to be there and to be dependable. When you got an Ant-Man that's not Ant-Man, when you got an Ant-Man that might get to 12 or 15 points in a game, or you got a Ja Morant that might play because he's not dealing with stuff off the court. But when he's there, he might only drop 12 or 15. No. If you win a game and your alleged superstars got 15 points, that's one thing. But if you lose a game by 5 and your superstar didn't even bring 10 points to the table, they're not really a superstar. Sir, last night, and I do think Big Body Brunson is a superstar. Last night in the fourth quarter, Big Body Brunson was 1 for 3. Last night in the fourth quarter, Big Body Brunson turned that ball over several times.
Yes, he did.
I want Big Body Brunson on my team. But last night while watching that game, I'm sitting there questioning, is he really the guy that I've been saying he is? Because the Pacers are doing everything right. The Pacers are hitting shots. They've got 5 or 6 guys that's come off. I can't knock them. And I don't want to condemn Brunson for playing a team that is on fire like they are. But when it's time to put the testicles on the line, I need you there. I need you there playing ball. I need you there giving it your all. I need you holding on to the ball. I need you hitting some of them threes. We kept missing wide open threes. We kept missing bunnies last night. And I say we talking about the Knicks. That
You're
it
talking
hurts my
yourself
heart
out
to
of
see
it.
that.
You're talking yourself out of, big body Brunson being a superstar.
I want him.
I know you want him. I want him as well
him.
because I was in your boat. So, but now when I love the your explanation of a superstar, but you left
God
one
damn
thing
it! It's
out.
time to play basketball right now.
Yeah, yes.
This is where we leave it all on the line right now in sports. There's no second chances now.
You're absolutely right. And sometimes you have to chalk it up, man. Sometimes you have to chalk it up. Big body Brunson is going to have to chalk it up. And when you look at it, of the swarming defense of Naismith, the way you make him work. Because Brunson, if you're not watching that game, you wouldn't say what I'm about to say. Brunson got his numbers, 31 points. He shot over 50%. Yeah. The turnovers you don't like, but the work, he worked, man. He worked up and down the court, having to spin, go through his legs, having to, have body on him, fighting through screens, fighting through that, and playing defense, working on the other end. Now, see, Brunson is not a two-way player. And what you said about a superstar, he's not a two-way player. Now he doesn't have to be, but I understand what you're saying because Steph Curry is not a two-way player. All right, but they do so much offensively in their game changes. I want to put one more thing in the superstar status that you didn't intentionally leave out, but it's got to be a sense of ticket sales. It's got to be a sense of when you go to somebody else's arena, the little kids and the fans are going to say, so-and-so are in town. I must go see them.
I got to be there. I got to
be there. I can't have it. I'm only going to see them once a year. I have to travel. This is my generation. This is my time. He's in my era. I must see that guy. Now, again, that's contradictory when you look at, will guys pay to see Tim Duncan? Will they pay to see Kawhi Leonard? Will they pay to see John Stockton in his heyday? Those are the things you come up with. But again, the opportune time for Jalen Brunson to step up, he did not do it. Ant-Man, the time for them to step up, they're not doing it. And they're not doing it in a fashion of clutch. That's when you cross the line. And that's where I'm going to have to cross the line of Tyrese Halliburton was to close this out, get to the finals, and continue to do what he's doing. Because remember, Game 3, he struggled. Right? He struggled in Game 3 overall, missing shots, kind of turnovers late. But we look at the clutch time, the clutch gene, the clutch moments in the game. And for everybody that's listening, clutch moments, clutch time means 5 minutes left in the game, and the game is within 5 points. And boy, all these games with the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers has been just that. Overtime in first game, I think 5. The next game, last night was 9, but it was a tight. It
was a tight at 9. It was a tight at 9.
How do you perform then? That's what we're going to remember. We're going to remember clutch genes, and Halliburton had it. Siakam had it last night, and Brunson just did not show up when they needed him most.
Jalen Brunson dropped 31 last night, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live student, Ryan Stewart. Looking forward to a good show. Thank y'all for being here. Brunson had 31 last night. Karl Anthony Towns had 24. Towns also had 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Josh Hart, notably responsible for 5 turnovers, fouled out of the game, gave up 9 points to the Pacers. On the other side of that, you've got Halliburton with the triple-double and not one single turnover. My question is, what kind of a difference did Halliburton's father being there make for him, you think? He missed the previous 8 games because of the mix-up he had with the Greek Freak. They allowed him back in the arena now in a suite, wasn't allowed to be on the floor where he usually sits. You think Halliburton stepped to the occasion the way he did last night with no turnovers and 30-plus points because his dad was in the building again?
Not because of, Stu. Would you bring up something that some people would say, why would you bring that up? But I love that because how many games, in your humble opinion, do you think Halliburton's dad missed that was in Indiana? that was played in Indiana this year. In your humble opinion, how many games you think he missed?
Without knowing the answer to that question, I would say he missed less than 5 games this season.
Yes, me too. Without knowing or being educated, I would say he missed none.
Okay.
All right. So you have parents, you played, and they've always tried to get to our college games. And that was a comfortability point of it. When you looked up in the stands, when you looked around, mom and dad safe, they're seated. Hey, now it's time to go ball. All right. So Halliburton for it's 41, 42 games this season. His dad was there. What's up, Dad? Front row at that. What's up? They probably chopped it up before the game. And the reason why his dad was not there in the circumstances surrounding that, not over he's a professional. I know guys would say he should be able to compartmentalize that and not let that affect him. That's his dad. That's his dad. And now knowing his dad is safe in the building, in a suite, supporting, talking trash, being him, yeah, he felt a little better. Did that cause him to have a triple-double? I'm not sure, but he felt a little bit more comfortable than he felt in game 3 with his dad not there.
It wasn't
no doubt about it in my mind.
It wasn't the triple-double that killed the Knicks last night. It was the no damn turnovers. It was the no damn turnovers with 12 freaking assists. I mean, and some of these passes were passes that he had spin on the ball. He sent it this way, and the ball came back to a player this way.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, he had a Beckham type action on passes last night.
Yes, he did. And especially the one that was a dagger 3 by OG Toppin when it was out of bounds. I think it was 7 points, and that took it to 10 points. With that nice bounce pass to the wide open Obi Toppin. But let's add this to Halliburton. He took the ball away 4 times as well, but 4 steals. I mean, I'm a stat sheet stuffer.
He was a real stat sheet stuffer.
Stat sheet stuffer. No. So I think, and that's the type of star, borderline superstar, rising superstar, because he's still young, has a lot of basketball left to play. That's the kind of, a star you don't necessarily look at numbers and triple doubles.
Right.
You look at the impact, because sometimes he can score 17 and dish out 12 assists and control the pace of the game. Yeah. He's just one of those guys that, like a Jason Kidd type of guy. He's a Jason Kidd type of guy that he's going to control the pace, get everybody involved. He's going to make the right play for himself and others, and it's hard to game plan for that. So I must give him his credit. I must give the NBA countdown crew, Charles, Ernie, and Kenny, and Shaq, because in my opinion, they got Tyrese Halliburton's dad back on the sideline. That shout out they did the other night and said it's time to let him back in the building. Hey, they talked directly to Adam Silver and saying, hey, he doesn't have to sit on court side, but let the man father be back in the building.
Let a father see his son play.
Yeah, because it's a touchy situation, Stu, because this guy, that could have been a messy deal.
The reason why it's not a touchy situation for me, and I don't want to get off course too far while we wrapping up the Knick talk here in the Huddle with Johan. The reason why it's not a touchy situation to me was because when Halliburton's dad and Giannis split ways, there was some affection and some gratitude shown on both of their behalves. Okay? Halliburton's dad patted him on the back, and Giannis looked at him and nodded his head and did like that and walked away. So, yes, what happened should not have happened, but I don't think they came close to throwing no blows. There was a mutual respect for each other during that time before they parted ways. That's why I thought he should have been allowed or able to come back in the building.
Certainly agree with that. And then, on the flip side, it would be what if, or this could have happened, or that could have happened.
I agree.
And we don't need to get into that. I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Before we move on to OKC in Minnesota, a couple more thoughts for you. Give me your thoughts on Tibbs and how he coached. Yes, how he coached last night, but how he's coached in this series. If you have any questions or any thoughts about that.
Well, he's up and down. Normally, you know what a coach is going to try to do. Normally, you know that a coach is coming with adjustments. Would you have made? I would not have made that decision to start Robinson over Josh Hart. All right, I know what you're trying to do with the energy and the board and the way Robinson is affecting things defensively. But Hardy's a glue guy. Hardy's a guy that can take that ball off the rim and carry distance, coast to coast. He's a guy that's going to get defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, and play exceptional defense. So you're going to disrupt that momentum because what? Mitchell Robinson had a few good games that he had an offensive rebound or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Or you're going to keep those guys in the same rotation. Carl Anthony Towns. What's his rotation? What's his rotation? And when you talk about last night, he played somebody that hadn't played in 2 series. What's the rhyme or reason? Where's his adjustments? It seems as though to me, Tibbs is a little stubborn. The obvious moves and the obvious wrinkles that he should be making from my standpoint, not an NBA coach, my standpoint is simple. Some of these movements, screening, picking Halliburton up full court and not having him have a head of steam in the half court. That's minor adjustments. And I would say that that's a little bit of a difference to me. Rick Carlisle is a championship coach. Tibbs was on the bench when Doc Rivers won a championship in Boston years back before he got his head coach, Tom Thibodeau. But as far as being a head coach, winning an NBA title, he's not that. And I thought Rick Carlisle, the adjustments in game. So you have to be able to make an adjustment to the other coaches' adjustments. I mean, when are you going to do that? So I think that experience, championship experience, making adjustments, Tibbs is just not quite there yet. Okay. Not quite there yet.
Okay. In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, getting ready to wrap this Knick talk up, and we're going to move into the OKC talk. A lot of basketball to talk about, and a little bit of time to get it done. But before we do that, I got one thing I need to say.
Yes, sir.
The New York Knicks are 0-15 all time in best-of-7 series when they're trailing 3-1. 0-15.
You're a betting man. You're a betting man. But I don't get into those things.
I am a betting man that when my team was down 0-2, I put $100 on the table for you and you wouldn't take it.
No.
I said, let's bet on this series. You said next game. I said, no, not next game, which if we did next game, I would have won. But I said, no, the whole series. And you're like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm glad you didn't. All I want to say is this. I believe that if Tibbs finds a way to not be as stubborn as he likes to be, okay? And I believe if Big Body Brunson can hold on to the ball a little bit better than he has these last 2 ball games, that we'll win this next game coming up in New York. And if we win this next game coming up in New York, that's going to make the series 3-2.
Yes.
And that's going to allow the fire and fuel us with an energy that will be needed for us to find a way to take down what appears to be an insurmountable lead right now. And we know what the numbers say. You talked about the Cavs getting it done decades ago. I don't think it's over. Because and yeah, I'm a fan of the team, but I'm not being a fan with this take, and it may not be as hot as one would think, but I do believe that going back to New York in the Mecca with that crowd, the way that it's going to be, and with all that's on the line, that we can get one. And if we get one, we showed times last night in Indiana where we had control, or we could have gone up more than the 2 or 3 points that we were up at certain points in that game. I don't think it's over. Am I being hopeful? Am I wishing on a star? Wishing on a star. Am I doing that? Yeah, I'm probably doing that. But I believe in this team, and I believe in Big Buddy Brunson. And if Big Cat can be healthy enough to move, he stumbled a lot last night because he banged that knee and all kind of stuff. If Big Cat can be in a position to move, I'm still going to give us a chance.
See, Stu, I think
it's not an 80% chance,
right?
But I'm still going to give us a chance.
Yes, Stu, I think you're calling out the wrong things here, man. Because again, I mean, it is factual. But when you say Big Body Brunson, my goodness, man, he's going to give you that again. Karl Anthony Towns is going to give you 24 and 12 again. I mean, now if you're saying those guys got to play outer-worldly, that Brunson's got to go for 40 and Karl Anthony Towns for 30, but those guys are doing their job. Now, I'm telling you, defensively, there are liabilities. I mean, they're foul trouble, especially Karl Anthony Towns. He gives fouls that is unexplainable. I mean, I don't even understand. But here's where I'm going to knock your argument down a little bit, and I'm going to say that your wishful thinking is justified. But when your head coach in the post-game presser, when asked, what are you going to do for next game? What's the plan for next game? And all he can say is reset.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, so he's basically saying that, let's flush this down. Let's kind of gloss over it.
And I was about to say, Joe, what do you want him to say? You don't want him to give up. You don't want him to give up his thoughts for the game plan for the next game. He can't do that.
Yeah, this is just the coach of me. I would love for him to say, hey, man, listen, I don't know quite yet, but what we will do, we'll go back and dissect this film and find answers. That, that's probably what he meant by reset. But, I mean, as a head coach, I have to go back. Things are not working. Maybe I crumble up. You ever heard of somebody saying crumble up the game plan? Yeah. Throw it away. This is not working. Throw it away. For 5 games, game plan hasn't been working. We have to do a little bit different. And I think the different, like Shaq likes to say and Big Perk likes to say, the others. And you've said it for the last 2 weeks. Where are the others on the New York Knicks team, especially offensively?
I need OG to do better. I need Josh Hart to stay on the floor. I need Josh Hart to give me more than 10 points. He's had a triple-double in a couple of these games, so he's not doing bad. But I need him to find 20. We gave up 5 picks, okay, for a guy, for 5 first-round picks for a guy in Bridges that is not bridging the gap right now.
No, good one. No, he's not.
He's just not.
No, he's not.
I need him to show up in the fourth quarter. They gave him 4 open looks from the corner last night. If he hits 2 of them, it's an entirely different ball game. He clanks them off the side of the rim. I need him to hit those shots. I still have hope, but I need the team to collectively play as a team if they're going to find a way to get it done. Game 6 will be going down tomorrow night. It's going to be in New York, and I'm excited about it. I think that we still have a chance. We still have a fighting chance, and I hope.
Will the New York Knicks fans that's in the building, those stars, Hollywood, so to speak, on the East Coast, will they be on pins and needles, or will they be ready, rocking and rolling, having the true home court advantage, being loud, or will they? I know it's the Mecca, but what I'm saying, are there human beings in the seats in the Mecca, in that building?
They are.
So some of them can be feeling a little antsy. Some of them can be feeling a little bit of questioning whether it's over or not. I'm just wondering, will that same energy in game 1 and game 2, will it be there when their Knickerbockers are down 3-1? I think so. I'm agree with you. I think so.
There'll be more than enough energy from the fans and from the arena, Madison Square Garden. There'll be more than enough energy for them to get it done. No question. It's going to be up to the players on the court. It's going to be up to the players on the court. It's In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Life Stu, Ryan Stewart. Don't forget, tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, you can come right back here to this exact same platform and catch the 2 Life Stews, where Doug and I will have our choice thoughts about the basketball world and what's going on, as well as a list and a host of other things. Oklahoma City Thunder, Joe, they edged out the Minnesota Timberwolves 128-126 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. They have now a commanding 3-1 lead in this series. I don't think you and I have minced any words with this next comment I'm going to make. They were our hands down favorite to get to the finals and to win the finals. How do you feel about this series going to Game 5 tonight and the series being 3-1 with OKC having a commanding lead?
I absolutely love the superstar. I love the MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the reason why, because there's one thing about a lot of people say this guy or that team needs to be humbled. But when you just taste a piece of that humble pie and you don't swallow it, it does no good. It does no good at all, Ryan Stewart. But what after game 2, what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said on the bench while the game was going on when they got beat by 40 points, and he told his teammate, this is why we lost. We didn't have the energy. We turned the ball over. And he said basketball is a humbling sport, is what he said.
Mm.
On the bench to
Yeah.
his teammate while the game was going on. So what that said to me is that your superstar didn't take it for granted. Your superstar ate that pie and swallowed it. We got humbled out here tonight. And why? Because we thought we had it in hand. We thought we could just roll that basketball out and the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to lay down. And when he saw that didn't happen, he went back to the drawing board, him being the leader and saying, guys, that cannot happen again. Yes. And what he said was that if we come out and we are focused, that doesn't guarantee we're going to win, but it's not going to be 40 points.
That's right.
It's not going to be it's not going to be an embarrassing
Yeah.
only game on national television where your peers are watching. It's not going to be that.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, league MVP, dropped 40, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. He was 12 for 14 from the free throw line. Something else I had a problem with the Knicks. We did an okay job at the free throw line, but if we hit a couple more shots, it's a whole different ball game. And we talked about it last week, Joe. SGA, as important as he is for OKC to get this W, Jalen Williams dropped 34 points in that game.
Yes.
He was 6 for 9 from behind the arc. When you got a cat that can play like he does and get to the cup as easy as he can, and he's shooting 6 for 9 from behind the arc, there's no way to stop him, because when you try to play him up close to stop him from the three, he breezes right by you and get to the cup. If they're going to drop 40 or if they're going to drop 74 between the two of them, they're going to be hard for anybody to beat in this postseason, period.
Yes, and you throw in Chet Holmgren doing his deal as far as three-point range, also rim protector, slashing and dunking. Yes, and the young coach, he's spectacular. And here's the deal. All you have to know about this, when you look at the regular season and the playoffs, when you have the number one defense in the league as far as steals, efficiency, turning the ball over, that's one thing, Stu. But on the flip side, if you turn the ball over the least, all right, and you have the most offensive efficiency, that's almost the best of both worlds. They are top 5 in all categories, and they have the MVP, and he knows how to play basketball. When you have no weaknesses, and I don't know what you're going to say about Ant-Man, but I'm 50-50. Some of it is on Ant-Man taking 13 shots. He's not. You wouldn't catch Kobe Bryant in a game taking 13 shots.
No.
I don't care what kind
not
of
a game of this magnitude.
I don't care what kind of defense they're going to throw at him. I don't care how many bodies they're going to throw at him. He's going to get his shots up. Michael Jordan, even with the Jordan rules, you remember the Jordan rules? Yeah. It was a specific defense implemented by the Pistons to stop Jordan. He was still getting up 25, 30 shots.
Yes.
Now, it was physical. He wasn't shooting a good percentage, but he was getting up his shots. Ant-Man has to be a little bit more assertive. I'm wondering where's his overall game now. But I'm also giving a lot of credit that you have to go through Luke Dort. You have to go through J-Dub. You have to go through when you get through those guys, then you have to go through Hartenstein at the rim.
Big Hartenstein's a player. I like him.
And Chet, New York Knicks had him last year, and y'all didn't want him to leave.
Let him ride. Yep.
So when you have to go through those type of line of defense, and that rim can close up, where's the easy shots? There are no easy shots, and that's where I look for Ant-Man to try to get others involved. And oh boy, you asked me this last week about Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns.
5 points for Julius Randle in that game.
My goodness.
5 freaking points.
And that's after he had a 20-point first first half the game before. He completely disappeared.
Yep.
And then I don't know how you feel about it, Stu. I'm going to bring this up. It's not a big point. But 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or even 10 minutes before your basketball game, you don't need to be sitting down on ESPN talking about what the game plan is. That's pregame while you're in the locker room. That's a whole hour before or a day before. I didn't quite like that. Some people can do it, but I didn't like that. He's sitting, and all of a sudden, during the interview, when Coach Mike Malone wanted to ask him a question, or maybe somebody else, I think it was the GM, the former GM for the Golden State Warriors, Bob Myers, wanted to ask him a question, and he ran out of time because they tapped him on the shoulder.
You sitting over here chilling. You sitting over here chilling, talking to these guys. Hey, man, let me tell you something real quick off that point. Very good point, man. This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. You know what drives me crazy?
Halftime.
When the sideline reporter chases down the coach while he's trying to go into the locker room at halftime.
Yeah.
You know what drives me crazy? When the sideline reporter stops the coach coming out of the locker room after halftime when he's trying to go to the field to get things. You know what drives me crazy?
Yeah.
To see a player like Julius Randle sitting down before the game with his warm-ups on, chilling, like he ain't got the game of his life. He got to play.
Yes, man.
And then when you do that interview, for you to come up with 5 points in a ball game, it can't happen.
It can't happen.
You can't make time for the media in a game where your life is dependent on it.
Thank you. And it allows me, Stu, and I'm not going to say sorry for this at all. It allows me to make the assumption that you weren't focused.
I agree.
It allows me to do that.
If
now,
you can sit down to the point where they got to tap you to say, hey, man, we got a game to play. You come on. That's a problem.
Yeah. I didn't like it. And now he's a guy that's his confidence goes where his game goes. In a game like that, he's going to come out and try to be aggressive, but I don't know that he can. I think in game 5, which I think is going to be over in 5, that he's going to struggle again because he's going to try to overdo it. He's going to try to make up for the game he just had. And Ant-Man is going to come out and do Ant-Man things. But when you have to go through that gauntlet of defenders, when you have to go through everything that they're going to throw at you, the number one defensive team in the NBA, the rotation, the depth, everything that they're going to throw at you, that screams struggle. So DiVincenzo, Randall, who's going to help him out? Gobert, they've taken Gobert completely out of this series.
He's Mr. Irrelevant.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, this is becoming a mismatch.
The Thunder rebounded from a 42-point loss in Game 3 by shooting 16 for 37 from the three-point range and executing key plays in final moments. Minnesota now faces elimination, as we've mentioned, needing 3 consecutive wins to advance. Okay, man, we'll get into a couple of other things now. This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I want to know your thoughts. You think both of these series are over before we move away from the NBA basketball?
Yes. I do think both of these series are over. I'm going to say that the Knicks going to force a Game 6. I firmly believe they're going to come out with their hair on fire at the Mecca. Yes, they will, force a Game 6. But I do not think that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to force a Game 6. I think it's over in 5. I just don't think they have the wherewithal. I don't think they have the leadership for the adversity they're going to face. And I'm not saying that Ant-Man is not a leader. I'm not saying he's not the leader of that team. I'm talking about the leadership in this situation. He's fatigued. Last year, his body was fatigued going against the Dallas Mavericks. This year, his mind is fatigued. His mind is fatigued a little bit with the blitz coverages, the different coverages. You remember in Game 1 or 2 when he was saying they kind of switched up their defenses every single time down court, and they couldn't quite figure it out. So that's going to fatigue your mind, wondering where the next guy is coming from, the help is coming from. So it's going to take another year. So I definitely feel that series over tonight. OKC is going to run them out of the gym tonight.
One last thing, Joe. I don't think the Knicks series is over yet. However,
right.
If it was to ultimately be OKC and the Pacers in the finals, how do you see that playing out?
High scoring, even with the defensive prowess that OKC brings. Who are you going to guard? Who are you going to focus on? I mean, I'm telling you, the Indiana Pacers ball movement, player movement, screen game, the ball finds the open person every single time down court. That's hard to defend. With that being said, OKC can play any way you want them to play. They can play up and down. They can shoot. They can defend. And they have the MVP that depends on a medium-range shot. That depends on a free throw line extended shot. Not three-point, not just going to the basket, efficiency. So I got it probably going 6 with the OKC Thunder winning. And believe me, these guys have been groomed. Last year having the best record, learning experience, getting knocked out. This year, having the best record, continuing a little bit further. The experiences are going to go a long way with that young team. And by the way, I say that, the young team, and you look for a dynasty to be in the making with OKC Thunder.
In the Huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Make sure you catch us every single Wednesday during the summer. The The time will be fluid. It'll be fluid.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
step away from the world of the NBA and get to the NFL real quick for just one topic, Joe. I
Yes.
looked at the clock just now, man. It's 9:55. Our hour's gone already.
Man, I love it.
I absolutely love it, man. I love what we do when we do it. Really appreciate you for being here, man, because it's all up to you for us to be here.
No doubt.
Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. I'm tired of this son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
Okay. I hate to be this blunt. I do, in my heart of hearts, believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers have some type of understanding.
What understanding, Stu? You get me upset. You get me upset.
I don't want you to be upset.
What possible understanding, man?
Here's the question.
Golly, man.
Act like I didn't say that. How important is it for your quarterback to be a part of the OTAs? I saw Patrick Mahomes walk in the building 2 days ago, and I was told, because I'm not in Kansas City, I was told that they've got 100% participation from the entire team at the OTAs.
Yeah.
How important is it for your quarterback to be a part of these OTAs, Joe?
Yeah, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. Aaron Rodgers has played a lot. He's played a lot of football. For him to be the OTA right now is very, very important to him. And here's why. He doesn't know the playbook. He doesn't know his teammates. When is he ever thrown a ball to DK Metcalf in this offense? When have those things ever happened? So it's very important for a rookie.
Well, now him and there's a lot of video of him and DK throwing this offseason. Okay,
yeah.
Now there's a lot.
Okay,
so,
I heard
but
that.
I'm with you, and I'm with you though. I understand what you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah, but what agreement? I mean, you've had time. I understand that your family were going through some things. I understand that you needed some time away. You were dealing with off the field issues, but you knew about those OTAs. It's not a huge deal, but now June 10th is going to be mandatory minicamp. Is he going to show up then? Why are you giving him this pass? And I'm embarrassed, Stu. I'm embarrassed for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers is letting one guy. The Pittsburgh Steelers is letting a guy that last year went 5-12. The year before that, missed the entire season.
Four snaps.
Yeah, and the year before that with the Green Bay Packers, he missed the playoffs. Okay, so with that being said, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to let Aaron Rodgers hold them hostage? I don't understand it.
That's what he's doing.
Even with the agreement in place, what are you saying to Cam Hayward? What are you saying to TJ Watt? And is Aaron Rodgers, does he still have that cachet? I ask you this quick question. Does he still have that cachet, 4 MVPs, one-time Super Bowl champion, to walk in that locker room, missing everything, and then galvanize the locker room and be the leader of that locker room? Do you think
he needs to be there? I couldn't be more pissed off that he's not there. I couldn't be more pissed off with the last 3 years that he's played ball. I cannot believe that he is trying to milk this thing to the point where he don't show up for OTAs or maybe even training camp. He just go walk on the field with a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform like he's somebody. It pisses me off.
It does me as well. I am really upset with this. Who does it? And did you hear the interview when he was talking about Green Bay and getting his jersey retired? And if they want me back, want this,
what a smug son of a bitch.
Boy, he is smug, and I'm tired of it. And this has nothing to do with his career. Hall of Famer, throws the ball with purity, one of the purest passes I've seen, deadly accurate. But his actions off the field, his actions going away in training camp, planning something, doing mini camp, I just do not like it. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to wonder, why are we letting this guy, the Rooney family, hold us hostage like this? It rubs me the wrong way, bro.
College football, before we get out of here, Joe, college football, man, they voted on no first-round buys for conference champions. But at the end of the day, we kind of knew this was going to happen, didn't we, Joe?
Yeah, and that's what we said. Did we love the 12-team playoffs last year? We talked about it. What changes would we make? And this is the only thing we could come up with. There's no way Boise State should be a top 4 seed. There's no way some of these other guys winning their conference should be a top 4 seed. Yes, winning your conference should get you into the playoffs, but it should not give you a fresh round bye. I think the reseeding and doing it that way will ease a lot of souls. And oh, by the way, some people are not going to be that upset because if you drop and you don't have that fresh round bye, you know what you'll be able to do? You'll be able to host a game on your campus.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a give and take a little bit. If you rather just having a bye, or would you rather that fan base at your home stadium be there and have a little bit of a fan base around that? So I think it's a win-win, but I also think it was a no-brainer.
I got goosebumps thinking about the last hour, man. It went by really quick.
It was good stuff. It was good stuff, man.
Thank you for this, man. Thank you for this, man. I really appreciate it, man. Prayerfully, man, we'll do it again next Wednesday, man. Stay strong in your fight.
Yes, sir.
Very, very important, man. Stay strong in your fight. I know Skylar's got a big couple of weeks coming up, man. Touring around, going to camps and doing different things, man. So y'all be safe on that road, man. It's exciting times, man. But there's nothing more exciting than doing the show when we get a chance to do it, man. So prayerfully, we'll be back again and get it done next week, man.
One love, man. That was good stuff, bro.
All right, that's my man, Joe Ham, right there. That was In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. Let me get my wall out of the background. Sorry about that, y'all. Don't forget tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, Doug and Ryan Stewart, that's us. The Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews Experience. Same platform right here at 7 o'clock. If you can't be up at 7, wake up whenever you can and catch us then because you can rewind it and play it at your will. Joe and I'll be back again next week. We're looking forward to that. And whatever y'all do, man, remember that God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And if you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love because that's all he's showing you, nothing but love. This was In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. I'll see y'all in the morning, and Joe and I will see you next week. Peace.